final race on the card is the Close Brothers Handicap. This is a listed 2 mile 4 race. Current favourite is the Plotting Shed for Gordon Elliott, currently around 8 to 1. He's got no Cheltenham form at all in any respect, and I struggle to see how this horse is the favourite for this race, to be honest. 2 runs this year, both being over 2 miles and second on both starts. Doesn't really find a lot when it comes under pressure, so that would worry me quite a bit. Hasn't won since November 2016, so I'm like I say, I'm struggling to see how this horse is favourite. There are a few other horses in behind that I rate a lot better than the Plotting Shed, but with the weight that it's getting, it could be involved. But I think that's the only angle I can find in that it's not exactly got a welter burden to carry around. The next one in here is Barney Dwan, currently 10 to 1 for Fergal O'Brien. Second in the Punters last year, as I mentioned previously, to Presenting Percy. He's won over this distance at Musselburgh, which when we look into what we discuss throughout, that favourites do tend to get beat up at Musselburgh. You can see that this is a little bit against the norm, so you have to take that quite strongly, really. This one was in February 2018. His jumping does need to be a bit tidy for me, however, with the cruising speed that he has and what he should find when it comes under pressure and that little bit of turn of foot that he's got, I expect Barney Dwan to be a big player in this market. The next one in is Nicky Henderson's Divine Spear, currently around 12 to 1. His 3 races this year, he's been first and second, so you can see that he's got quite strong form. However, the time that he was second, and it just goes to show everything I've just said about Musselburgh continues really, he was 1 to 3 on favourite where he got beat. And this was on the same card as Barney Dwan, so you can see that the ground isn't exactly going to pose problems to Barney Dwan where it may do that to Divine Spear. He has run at Cheltenham previously, but he normally runs elsewhere during this week, so it'll be interesting to see if Divine Spear turns up, and if he does, he's got a lot to do to basically catch Barney Dwan on the Musselburgh form alone. Henderson has another horse in here at Rather Be at 12 to 1. Steps up from Class 3 races previously, so it has got a fair bit to find. He unseated the second in the Martin Pipe here last year, so it would have been interesting to see exactly what would have happened if that mishap didn't happen. He has been camed over 2 miles this year, but on old form he can't really be ruled out, and again, like I say, depending on what these Class 3 runs actually mean, he could also be involved when it comes to the end. Mick Channon has a horse in here at 14 to 1, and this is Mr. Whitaker. He's 1 from 1 here. That was in January 2018, which was a Class 2 race run over 2 mile and 5, beating Sizing Tennessee, who was then 16 lengths in front of 3rd place. So when you look at that and trying to look into Cheltenham form over this sort of distance, he routed the rest of the field, to be perfectly honest with you. He was second at Theatre Territory, who was 3rd over Kempton at the weekend in the Betdap Chase. So you can see that if Mr. Whitaker can travel smoothly throughout the race, he will also be right up there for me. I think Barney Dwan at the moment is the horse that I'd be backing out the ones that we've looked at. However, Mr. Whitaker should be involved when it comes to the end as well. So Tree of Liberty is a horse in here for Kerry Lee, 14 to 1, an easy winner of a Class 3 last time out, over 2 miles. He was second to St Calvados by 10 lengths, and as we've seen, St Calvados does look quite strong form, so that is something to be taken into consideration. On all of his completed starts, and I stress the word completed, he has made the frame as well. So again, in what looks to be a very open looking race, you can certainly see that he could be involved in here. Just one horse quickly to touch on for Willie Mullins is Demi Sang. Was due to race this weekend, but with the snow that's forecasted and whatnot, I'm not quite sure if the racing will actually be on. I highly doubt it will be, to be honest. So if it can put a line through the 4th place finish that it had out of 5 last time out, then he could be involved again, considering that there were some straight wins before that. So he is another player in here, currently at 16 to 1. One horse that does interest me quite a fair bit at 20 to 1 is Donald McCain's Testify. He's 3 from 3 this season, 2 of those were Class 3s and a Grade 2 race as well, so you can see that when it got asked to step up, it did. The Grade 2 win was over this distance on heavy ground, so again, no problems there at all. He does like to run at Haydock, He doesn't mind leading, so he could be the pace angle to look in this race. Safe to say, it's not an easy race to be finding the winner for this race. I'd be looking for max place terms somewhere and taking no run or no bet in the market as well.